Emily is a notary public working at a bank. Mr. Thompson comes in with a power of attorney, a POA document, that grants him authority to manage his brother's financial affairs. He asks Emily to notarize the POA so he can access his brother's bank accounts. Emily verifies Mr. Thompson's identity using his government-issued ID. While reviewing the POA, she notices that it lacks a notary seal and signature where the principal should have signed. Mr. Thompson explains that his brother is overseas and couldn't sign the document in person. What should Emily do in this situation? To help us answer this question, let's have a look at section 182.3 found in the Notary Public License Law booklet entitled Requirements for Notaries, and it states in subsection A, all notaries public who wish to perform notarial acts in New York State must, and we can jump to subsection 3 for the purpose of this question, require the personal appearance of all parties to any transaction for which a notarial act is required for the duration of any such transaction. So with this in mind, let's have a look at our four choices to determine the solution. Choice A states, proceed to notarize the POA and allow Mr. Thompson to sign on behalf of his brother. Well, this is incorrect because the POA, which itself is the document that's giving Mr. Thompson authority to sign on behalf of his brother, can only be relied upon once it's signed by the principal, i.e. Mr. Thompson's brother, in the presence of a notary public. Because that is not the case here, Emily cannot proceed to notarize the POA based on Mr. Thompson signing for his brother, and therefore choice A is not the correct solution. Choice B states, advise Mr. Thompson to have his brother sign the POA in the presence of a notary where he is located. Now, this seems to be the correct solution because based on the law that I read from before, the only way that Emily would be able to notarize Mr. Thompson's brother's signature is if Mr. Thompson's brother would have appeared in front of Emily. However, Mr. Thompson's brother is overseas. Therefore, the correct course of action is for Mr. Thompson to sign in front of a notary where he's located. Incidentally, I should add that assuming that Mr. Thompson's brother is located in a country that's a part of the apostille treaty, then Mr. Thompson's brother would also have to obtain an apostille on the notarization. So that's a bit beyond the scope of this question, but just bear in mind that when having a document notarized overseas, the apostille requirement, assuming again it's a member country to the apostille treaty, would kick in. That's just some extra information for you to be aware of. Now, before we mark choice B as the correct solution, let's have a look at choices C and D just to be certain. Choice C states, complete the notarization after noting the absence of the principal's signature in your records. This is incorrect because noting the absence of the principal's signature would not make up for the fact that the document is not signed by the principal, and therefore Emily cannot complete the notarization, and choice C is not the correct solution as a result. And finally, choice D states, accept an electronic signature from his brother and finalize the notarization. Now, the only way that Emily would have been able to do this is if she was set up with the proper communication technology and has the electronic notarization capability. That has not been stated in the question, and therefore we cannot make that assumption. And as a result, we have to assume that the choice is not getting into communication technology and all the necessary equipment, but rather is just making it sound like a simple electronic signature, and this would certainly not suffice to satisfy the electronic notarization requirements of New York State, and therefore choice D is not the correct solution, which indeed leaves choice B. Advise Mr. Thompson to have his brother sign the POA in the presence of a notary where he is located as the correct solution.